See, most of you who are posting videos are actually posting valuable videos, but when you do it, nothing happens. Nobody DMs, nobody asks for your service, nobody asks for your help. The reason why that is happening is because you are not optimizing for signaling theory. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly that. I'm going to show you exactly mapped out what signaling theory is, how to leverage it, and the exact automated system you can build today so that 70% of the content that you create is going to be automated, so that every single piece of content you make from today is going to be built in such a way that is optimized for conversions, while at the same time makes sure that the audience who watches your videos actually feel something. Because if you cannot make them feel anything, they're not going to convert, my friend. Trust is the biggest issue right now. If you're selling info, trust is the biggest issue. If you're selling anything B2B, trust is the biggest issue that you're not optimizing for. My name is Rohit and I help agency owners, coaches, and info sellers just like you build acquisition systems, specifically inbound acquisition systems, to absolutely scale the fuck out of your business. Now, let me show you exactly what signaling theory is. In a broader sense, signaling theory addresses situations involving information asymmetry, where one party, which is the sender, conveys information to another, which is the receiver, to reduce uncertainty about hidden attributes. This is a very complicated scientific explanation of what signaling theory is. And this graph is one of the most complicated, not the most complicated, but this graph is like a scientific representation of what signaling theory is. Let me show you a simpler graph so you can make more sense. On the y-axis we've got meaning, and here we've got costliness. Sorry, costliness is like the amount of effort that is required. Swiping on Tinder, low amount of costliness required, less meaning. Sliding into DMs, asking out in the club, asking out sober, it's hard to do, therefore it carries more meaning. So what does signaling theory even say? What you know is value is created when problems are solved. This is what everybody has told you about, but that is not what signaling theory says, because signaling theory is how we humans function. As per signaling theory, there are a few key principles which determine what your audience feels. And if you don't have these signals in place, nothing is going to work. We as humans base value about things based on like different signals that we get. To give an example, if you're trying to become fit, you're trying to go to the gym, and you come across a trainer, you subconsciously or maybe even consciously are judging that person's physique. Is that person fit or fat? If they're fit, you automatically think, okay, they're probably a good trainer. If they're fat, you think they're not a good trainer. You sometimes you will consciously think about this, but most of the cases you're not consciously thinking about the scenario. It just happens in your brain. So, because it happens in your brain, why do you expect your audience to see the value in your video when in reality that is not the main criteria in their mind? So, what is the main criteria? There are four signals that your audience is looking for: value signals, external signals, structural signals, internal signals. When there is a synergy between all of these four signals, the right video has all of these four signals. That is what conveys value. Just solving problems does not make the thing valuable. It's like this. If you've got a really nice birthday gift for a friend, you've made it, it's really valuable. You're providing a really good gift, but you put it in a fucking trash bag. Do you think the friend who's going to be receiving this gift is going to look at this and be like, wow, you know what? Rohit, I love the fact that you gave me the gift. No, of course not. Value is created when problems are solved. That is true. But that's not how your audience looks at it. Let's take a look at this. Value signals. The exact framing, the metaphors, narrative, contrast. What is it like these four components determine value signals? How is it framed? How is the video framed? What are the metaphors used in the video? What are the analogies used in the video? What is the narrative in the video? What is the contrast in the video? Without these in place, it doesn't work. External signals, the visuals of the video, the audio, which most people, do not focus on, the audio of the video, environment, motion, design. All of these are important. There is a reason why I've created Myrobot, because the people who I'm trying to sell to want to see stuff. They want to see these things, which is exactly why I'm making this video on a Myrobot. If I wanted to target like beginners, for example, I wouldn't create a My Robot. I wouldn't do it. It's too much work. All you have to do to sell to beginners is like come up with a how to make money plan. That's it. That's not how it works. So the visuals of the video, what do they see? What do your audiences see? The audio of the video, the quality of the mic, the music used in the video, the environment it is in, the motions, the designs, external signals, structural signals, the confidence in speaking, the speech pattern, certainty, clarity. How good does the person speak? There's the structural signals, internal signals, confidence, speech pattern, certainty, clarity. Again, the same thing. We subconsciously process all of these informations, which is exactly what determines if something is valuable or not. It's not problem solving capabilities. So a high signal video is what we are aiming for. A high signal video is comprised of low cognitive load, high emotional resonance, and authority framing. If you can reduce the cognitive load required to view the video, create high emotional resonance in the video, which makes the video, makes the audience feel like we talked about at the start of the video, and framing yourself as the authority. When you have these three components in here, that's what creates a high signal video. I wanted to think about this. Think about a video that actually changed your life. Do you really think it changed your life because of the information in it or how it made you think? Reality is what you think of it. Reality is different based on what you think. If you want, I can make a video about this as well. Reality bends because of the way you think. So if I change the way you think right now, your reality will change. Nobody's talking about this because this is what actually is comprised of it. So how do you create high signal videos? There are 4 components: visuals, audio, structure, and social. Let me explain visuals and how they work. So there is a reason why Porsche feels expensive. So take a look at this photo. This is my dream car, by the way. Porsche 911. I don't really care what 911 though. It's like matte black is probably my favorite car. When you look at this, it feels luxury. It feels luxurious. Why? Think about it for a second. Why? I'm going to tell you why in a second, but I want you to think about this. Why does it feel luxurious? Now also, take a look at Apple's ads. There is a reason why everybody buys the new Apple phones, iPhones. Take a look at this. Just observe this ad for a few seconds. Why do you think this works? Now let's take a look at Iman's brand. You know this guy? Why do people associate him with the old money look, with the aesthetic look? Take a look at this. Every single video, every single image I showed you right now is there because of a reason. Because we as humans base things. It's very interesting. These brands scream luxury and aesthetics because of the fact that they have a signaling theory. Smoother surfaces like Porsche and Apple's reduce cognitive load in the brain. When you look at this car, it's smooth. The surfaces are smooth. Look at this. This is smooth. All of this looks smooth and clean. Look at this. This looks smooth and clean. Because it is smooth and clean, there is less cognitive energy required by your brain to process it. We have been evolved for cognitive efficiency, and these brands give us that. So the less of the cognitive load, the more the brain labels it as good because it is easy. Iman, why does his brand scream old money? First of all, the filters he uses are vintage filters, cinematic filters. The editing style he has, the Iman Ghazi editing style that everybody talks about. If you look at it, it's comprised of shapes which are smooth, animations which are smooth, because it's easy for you to process. Because the more easy it is for you to process it, the more you associate it with something valuable. Audio. Audio is the most important thing that you can have. This is one of the most important things that most people overlook. With shit audio, your video becomes shit. So let me show you guys an example about how audio entirely changes how you perceive videos to be. Take a look at this shot. I hope you guys can listen to this. Seems scary. Oh my god, what is this? The Red Sea. Oh my god, the dangerous Red Sea. Let's take a look at this. Let me show you this video. Exact same video. Do you see the difference the audio made there? Because of the fact that there was different audios, you as a human experience different things. You in the first video felt like, oh my god, this is some crazy shit. This is really scary. The Red Sea is really scary. Now you look at it, it's goofy as shit. You can make the viewer feel different things based on the music you choose. This is how we leverage emotional resonance. Low cognitive load, the easier the video is to consume, the better it is. High emotional resonance with audio. Audio helps us do that. So this is what I do with my Instagram reels. Top of funnel is usually going against the grain or challenging common beliefs. If you want to get more attention, top of funnel, you challenge the most common beliefs people have. I like to use me and the devil instrumental. Middle of funnel is usually introspection, changing the way they think. That's the entire point of this video. I don't put music in YouTube videos, obviously, because I don't want to. There is no actual, point because of that. But that's a topic for another day. But middle of funnel is usually introspection. You want to sit down and think and change the way you think. I use Interstellar Stay, one of the greatest music tracks ever created. Bottom of funnel, immediate conversions. Kanye. I put on some Kanye, bro. There is a reason why also I use music that people know. You know me and the devil. You've heard this shit. Like YouTube shorts or something. You've heard Interstellar. You've heard songs of you've heard Runaway by Kanye West. You've heard that shit. There is a reason why I use that because first of all, it like hits the correct emotional resonance. But secondly, think about it like this. Think about how high leverage this is. Imagine you're walking on a street and somebody plays a song you've heard. Will your attention go towards the song or will you ignore the song? Of course, it will go towards the song. So why not leverage that in your content? You make a video, you make a reel, a short form piece of content, which has music, which creates emotional resonance, while also is music that is recognizable, so that the people who listen to it want to close the loop in their mind. If you hear Runaway by Kanye West, you want to get to the beat drop. You have heard about it so much, you want to get to the beat drop. You hear Interstellar Stay, you want to get to the main sexy juicy part of the content, the music, sorry. Me and the devil, you want to get to the beat drop. So if you engineer your video in such a way that the beat drop is towards like the last quarter of the video, people subconsciously, even if they're not interested, are going to watch through it. You see how high leverage that is. Just visuals and audio, two things that can change the way you do stuff, but also structure and social. So let me show you how to do this. This is the entire automation aspect of it. How do you build an automated setup? This is what I have done. This is what my clients get. The entire automated setup to do all of this. This is really high leverage, by the way. I'm going to give everything, by the way, this. So there are three components that I've automated for my clients and like the process that I, basically sell. It's ideation, scripting, and content assets. Let me show you why these three things are so high leverage. If you ideate, you script, and you create content assets, basically all of the work is done. Let me show you this. We base the ideas on ICP, offer, and action. That means we base all of our content ideas based on who we want to attract, what do we want to sell to them, and the exact action we want them to take. All of the content ideas you build must be based on this. Let me show you the difference between what people do and what I build. Most people are going to come up with ideas like, oh my god, I want to create valuable videos. So let me make a valuable video. Let's say you're selling AI solutions. Let's say you have an info offer to help people get started with AI. You're thinking, okay, I want to create a video which is going to get me conversions. It's going to get people paying for my product. Let me come up with a video idea. How to start an AI automation agency. You're not clear on who you're targeting. You're not clear on what, okay, you're clear basically on what you want to sell. You're not clear on who you're targeting. You're not clear on the action you want them to take. They don't convert. Look at this. I want to show you this. This is my ICP. Look at this. Look at how detailed this is. This is basically you. And this is structured in such a way that, large language models require a different way of structuring information. Look at this. Persona name, Daniel Reyes, 20 to 20, 25 to 38, skilled creator / coach with an audience but unpredictable revenue. Look at this. Theme, childhood pressure to be the gifted one. Parents praise him only when he achieves something academically or creatively. Just try and like tell me how accurate this is for your situation. If I'm not achieving, I'm invisible. Let's scroll down somewhere random. Doubts. I worry that I'm actually not good enough to charge high ticket. I worry that people will think I'm desperate if I start selling more aggressively. I worry that my audience isn't big enough to make real money. I worry that my funnels and CTA sequences won't work for me. I worry this is all a waste of time. Let me scroll down more. Daily thoughts. I should be further ahead by now. Why does my content get views but no buyers? If I fix this funnel, everything changes. I can't keep winging it. Other people make it look so easy. I need predictable revenue. I can't afford another slow month. Let's scroll down more. What they won't do is spam DM people, pretend to be a guru, lower their prices, hire random freelancers, spend months figuring out funnel tech. I learned concepts, but I couldn't implement them properly. Lacked done for your execution. DM outreach. I felt like a desperate beggar. Not built for creator identity or inbound brand. I have mapped out every single thing here. I know exactly what you think. I know what you tell yourself when you go to sleep. I know exactly the doubts you have, which is what helps me to create these high signal pieces of videos. And by the way, this is not something I did manually. It took me 5 minutes to make this ICP report. Think about this. I have SOPs on exactly how to build this out. Every single component within this ICP is completely mapped out. Most people's ICP documents are shit. It's like an avatar document. Offer doc. This is the exact offer doc that I provide to the custom GPTs and the automations, which like basically just give me everything that I need. So let's take a look at this. A 21-day client acquisition system. This is my system that I sell. So why does this system work? Boom. Everything you get when you join. So done for you execution. Complete profile overall. Booking funnel setup. Done for you editing. DM scripts. Tracking analytics. Done with you. Weekly one-on-ones. I offer an ICP deep dives. Content review and direction. App. Auto-generated short form scripts. Auto-generated long form scripts. I'll show you guys that in a minute. Auto-generated story sequences. Complete data and lead tracking. Everything is in here. The exact week 1, what are we going to do? Week 2, what are we going to do? Week 3, week 4, guarantee. Price. Everything. Look at this. I feed that and this detailed ICP along with the exact action I want them to take based on specific videos that I create. And everything is built upon this custom GPT system prompt. Let me just show you. I'm not going to show you the entire prompt, obviously. Role and objective. Analyzing. High emotional intensity. Step 2. Step 3. I have studied over 100 different content pieces, B2B videos, to figure out exactly what are the highest leverage video ideas that work. Provide listicle framework, myth busting, why diagnostic pattern interrupt, how I social proof, generation frameworks, everything inside here. Good ideas, bad ideas, special instructions, formatted specifically. These are the custom knowledge bases provided to these custom GPTs. Look at this fine-tuning dataset. Fine-tune on what good ideas are, dataset JSON. Fine-tune on what good content ideas are. Foundational concepts. Foundational psychological concepts that determine influence that you probably have heard like gurus talk about, like read this book, read this influence book, blah blah blah, all that bullshit. I just provided it to AI, foundational concepts, cognitive psychology, underground papers and books transcribed into the highest leverageable asset that I can give to any custom GPT, which gives me scripts that are absolutely optimized for high signal videos. You see how high leverage this is. Let's take a look at scripting. So in scripting, the system works in this way. So a goal is to generate 3 scripts for the stages of the funnel: top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. And we base it again on ICP, offer, and action. This is the script generation system prompt. Super in depth. Knowledge bases. It has instructions on exactly how to use the knowledge bases. Every single minute, every single instruction is mapped out inside of here. This is the exact training knowledge base it is built upon. Working scripts inside of the B2B space. Content assets. We build custom solutions, so parts of the system like profile optimization, offer building, content assets, automation, story sequences, all of these can be automated. So think about this. You get your profile optimized, completely automated. Offer building. I've got entire SOPs and prompts to let AI figure out the exact bottleneck in your offer so you can immediately fix it and make more money instantly. Content assets, how to build content assets, lead magnets, automations, story sequences, what to put out every single day. Everything is mapped out inside of a custom dashboard, inside of a custom front end. This is called Nova, my custom app. Dashboard view, ideas, scripts, conversion rate, ideation, places for you to have ideation, scripting, library settings. Every single component is automated completely. So, but 70% of the work that you have to do is done. The 30% of work is sitting down, analyzing, recording, and getting better. That is the 30% of work that you do. This is exactly how you create high leverage pieces of videos. This is exactly how you figure this stuff out. This is exactly how you do it. I can't believe people literally charge like 10K, 15K for all this information. This is literally for free that I'm giving it to you right now. I give this implementation to my clients as well. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can click the first link in the description, message me on Instagram. You can see I'm a scammer, if I'm scamming people or not. I'm an Indian, so I'm scamming whatever. You can check my Instagram to see if I'm a scammer or not. But implement this model instantly. If you want access to this exact asset, this exact microboard, you can message me on Instagram as well. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.